Hi everyone, in this tutorial we are going to make a motor blower assembly that you can see on the screen. So let's begin it. First part is upper housing. So let us create it. For that we will go to the sketch, then select the sketch, and here we will select the front plane. Now we will draw a circle with the radius of 152.4. For that we will go to the circle, and here we will draw a circle and the radius is 152.4. Then click on OK. After drawing a circle, we will draw horizontal line passing through the center. For that we will go to the line, and then we will draw a line passing through the center and which is horizontal. Now we will trim this lower circle. So we will go to the trim entities and we will trim this part. Then click on OK. And now we will exit the sketch. After sketching this, we will go to the features and then we will click on extruded boss. And now here we have to select the mid plane. For that the extrusion will take place on both the sides of sketching plane, and here the depth of the extrusion is 203.2. so here 203.2 and then enter, and now we will click on OK. Now after making this, we will sketch a section or a curve on the front plane. For that we will go to the sketch and then we will select the front plane. Now we have to draw a curve along which our section will be lofted. So here first we will draw a circle. So we will create a circle with the radius of 254. So here radius is 254, and then we will click on OK. After drawing a circle, here we will convert this half circle into the entity. So click on, and after that we will right click and so we will select the convert entities. Now we will make this bigger circle and this half circle to be tangent. For that first we will click on the circle, then press Ctrl and then select this half circle, and here we will select tangent and then we will close it. After that we will make the centers of both the circles to be horizontal. For that first we select the center of the bigger circle, then press Ctrl and then select the origin, and here we will select horizontal and then click on OK. After that we will draw a horizontal line from the upper edge of the bigger circle. For that we will click on the line and then we will draw a horizontal line. Now we will give the distance of this extreme point from the origin. For that we will click on the smart dimensions, then we will click on the point, and after that we will click on the origin, and then we will give this distance, and it is 146.05 plus 156.21, and then we will click on OK and we will close this. Now we will trim some entities. For that we will click on trim entities and then we will trim this. Now we will close this and we will also delete these entities that we have converted. So we will delete it. Now we will close the sketch. After closing the sketch, we have to define two planes at a different distance from the right plane. For that here we will go to the features, then we will go to the reference geometry and then select the plane. After that here from the model tree we will select the right plane and we will give the distance, and the distance is 156.21, and we will alter the direction. For that here we'll click on offset effect and then OK. After making one plane, we have to define another plane. So we'll go to the reference geometry, then we'll select the plane. Now here the base plane is this, so we'll select this plane, and here the distance is 146.05. Here also we'll click on the flip offset and then we'll click on OK. Now after making these two planes, we have to draw three sections which are lofted. So for that, here we'll go to the sketch, then we'll select this plane. Now here we'll convert this into entity, so press Ctrl and select convert entities. After that we'll draw a rectangle. For that, go to the rectangle and then we'll draw rectangle like this. After drawing a rectangle, we'll give the dimensions to each side. So here this side is 133.35 and this side is 184.15. Now here this will be half of 184.15. So we'll select this, then we'll select this, and it is 184.15 divided by 2. Then we'll click on OK, and after that we'll give the distance in between this point and this horizontal line, and which is 0. And then we'll click on OK, and we will close the smart dimensions. After that, we have to fillet the corners of the rectangle. For that, here we'll go to the fillet and then we'll select these two edges, these two, and these two. And here the radius of the fillet is 22 mm. So enter here 22 and then we'll close it and then click on OK. Now our first section is completed, and then we'll go out from the sketch. After drawing the first section, we have to draw a section on the plane 1. So for that, we'll go to the sketch and then we'll select the plane 1. Now we'll draw the same section but somewhat smaller from the prior section. For that, we'll go to the rectangle, then we'll draw rectangle. Now we'll give the length to all the two sides. For that, we'll go to the smart dimensions, and here this vertical length is 106.68 and the horizontal length is 146.05. Now it will be half of that. For that, we'll click on this side, then we'll click on this vertical line, and it will be 146.05 divided by 2. Now after making this, we will give the fillet to all these four corners. For that, we'll go to the fillet, then we'll select these two sides, these two, and these two, and then we'll click on OK, and here OK. So our second section is also completed, and we'll go out from the sketch. After drawing these two sections, we have to draw the third section on this face. For that, we'll go to the sketch, then we'll select this face. Now for that, we'll click on the rectangle and we'll draw a rectangle. We'll draw a rectangle. Now here we'll give the dimension. So here it is 106.68 and it is 146.05, and it will be half of that. For that, it will be 146.05 divided by 2. And now we will give the fillet. For that, we'll go to the fillet and then we'll select all the adjacent sides. and then we'll click on OK, and then we'll go out from the sketch. So now we have drawn all the three sketches. Now here we'll delete this vertical line from this sketch. So here we will go to the sketch, so we will select this sketch and we will edit it. Now we will delete this vertical line and then we will go out from the sketch. Now our three sections are completed, and then we will use the loft feature. For that we will go to the features, and here we will select loft boss. After selecting, first here we will select the guiding curve which we have drawn earlier, so we will select this curve. After that, here in profiles we have to select the profiles that we want to be lofted along a guide curve. For that, here we will select all this curve that we have created, so we will select sketch 3. After that we will select sketch 4, and after that we will select sketch 5, and then we will click on OK. Now after making this, we have to give the fillet radius over this edge. For that we will go to the fillet, and then we will select this edge, and here the fillet radius is 12.7, and then we will click on OK. After giving the fillet, we have to use the shell feature in order to make it hollow. For that we will go to the shell, and we have to select this face, press Ctrl and select this lower face. Now here we have to give the thickness of the shell, which is 6.35, so here we will enter 6.35, and then we will click on OK. So you can see that the shell has been applied to the feature. Now after applying the shell, we have to remove some material from this side and from opposite side. For that we will go to the sketch, then we will click on the sketch and select this face. Now we will draw a circle. For that, click on the circle and then draw a circle with the center lies on the origin, and here the radius of this circle is 123.83. Then click on OK, and then go out from the sketch. Now here in the features we will select the extrude cut, and then here the depth of extrusion is 6.35, so enter here 6.35 and then click on OK. Now we have to do the same procedure on the opposite side but of different radius. So here we will go to the sketch, then click on the sketch. Now here we will draw a sketch. Now we will draw a circle, and it is having the radius of 38.1. Then we will click on circle, then we will go out from the sketch, and now we will go to the features and we will go to the extruded cut, and here the depth of extrude cut is 6.35, so we will click on OK. So here we have almost done. Now we have to make the holes on which the bolts are mounted. For that we have to first draw a profile. For that we will go to the sketch, normal to that plane. After that, first we have to draw a rectangle. For that we will go to the rectangle, and then we will draw sketch. So we will draw first a rectangle like this. After that we will put a center line about which the sketch will be mirrored. For that we will go to the line and we will select center line and put a vertical center line. Now after making this, we will give the length to this horizontal line. For that we'll go to the smart dimensions, then here we'll enter the value of the dimension. For that we have to do some calculation, and here we'll enter it directly. So here we will put a close. Now here we will enter 381 minus 304.8 and outside divide by 2. Then click enter. Now after giving the dimensions we have to close this. Now we have to draw 4 circles. For that we'll go to the circles, and then we'll draw first one circle. Now here we'll give the dimensions. For that we'll go to smart dimension, and here the radius of the circle that we'll give, so it is 10 mm. It is having the diameter of 10 mm. Now we'll give the distance from this horizontal line and this vertical line. Now the distance from the extreme edge to the circle is 25.4. So here we'll select this center, then we'll select this, and it is nothing but 19.05. So enter here 19.05, then we'll click on enter. After that we have to give the distance in between this and this, and for that it is 25.4. So we'll select this center, then we'll select this horizontal line, and it is 25.4. So we'll enter here 25.4, then click on OK, then we'll close it. Now here we have to add 6.35, which is the thickness of the shell. So we'll double click on this, and here plus 6.35, and then we'll click on OK. Now we have to give the coincident, or we'll give the distance in between this line and this line to be 0. So here it is 0 mm. So now we have to give the pattern to this. After drawing the circle we have to give it pattern. For that we will select this circle, then here we will select the linear sketch pattern. Now here we will select the direction. For that we will select this edge. Now here we will enter 4, which is the number of replica that we want to make. After enter here 4, here we will give the distance in between the two holes, and which is 50.8. So after making it we'll click on OK. So here we have made the pattern. After making this we'll select this all, and we'll mirror it about this vertical line. So first we'll select this all, then here we'll go to the mirror. For that we'll click on the mirror entities, and then here we'll click on this empty box, and then we'll select this vertical line, and then we'll click on OK. So now we have successfully made the sketch. Now we'll go out from the sketch, and now we'll click on the features, and we'll click on the extruded boss, and here we'll enter the value of depth, and which is 10.16. So here we have to alter the direction. For that here we will click on the arrow, and then we will enter here 10.16, and then we'll click on OK. So up to now our first part, which is the upper housing, is completed. Now we'll make the second part, which is lower. Now we will close it and we will move to the second part. Here, file, new, and OK. So for creating a second part, first we have to draw. So we'll click on the sketch and then we'll select the right plane. Now here, first we'll draw a circle. So here we'll draw a circle with the center on the origin, and the radius of the circle is 152.4. Then OK. After creating a circle, we have to create a rectangle. For that we'll go to the rectangle, and here we will draw rectangle. Now here we will give the dimensions. So we'll go to the smart dimensions. Here the vertical side of the rectangle is of 38.1 and this horizontal side is of 355.6. And now here we will put a vertical center line. For that we will go to the lines and center line, and here we will draw vertical center line, and then we will give the distance in between the vertical line and this extreme line of the rectangle, and it is 355.6 divided by 2. Now we will give the final dimension, which is the center of the circle, and this lower side, and this distance is 165.1. It is 165.1 mm. The radius of this, this diameter is 152.4 into 2, and now we will click on OK. After drawing this, we will trim some portion. For that we will go to the trim entities, and then we will trim this portion. After trimming this, we will go out from the sketch, and then we will go to the extrude. So here we will go to the features, then extrude boss. Now here we have to extrude on both the sides of the sketching plane. So here we will click on mid plane, and the depth of extrusion is 203.2. Then OK. Now after making this, we have to draw another sketch on the right plane. So here we'll go to the sketch, and then here we'll select the right plane, and now we'll draw sketch. For that, first we'll draw a circle and another circle. Now we'll give the dimension. So here this inner circle is having the radius of 152.4 minus 6.35. So here it is 152.4 minus 6.35. It is diameter, so it is 304.8 minus 2 times 6.35. Then we will click on OK. And here now we have to draw a horizontal line. For that we will go to the lines, and here we will draw horizontal line, and now we will trim entities. Now after doing this, we will go out from the sketch, and then we will use the extrude feature. Here we will click on midplane, and then we will click on OK. Now after doing this, we have to give here the closing side at both ends. So here we will go to the sketch, then sketch, and here we will select this face. And now we will draw circle, and we will draw another circle, and now here we will draw horizontal line. Now we will trim this upper portion. Before that we will give the dimension to this inner circle. So we will go to the smart dimensions, and here the diameter of the inner circle is 123.83 multiplied by 2. So it is 123.83 multiplied by 2. And now we will click on OK and we will trim entities. So we will trim out this and then we will go out from the sketch. Now after doing this we will extrude. So we will go to the features, then extrude boss. Here we have to extrude on the opposite side, so we will click on this arrow. And now the depth of extrusion is 6.35. so here we will enter 6.35 and then we will click on OK. Now similar exercise we have to do on the opposite side. For that we will go to the sketch, then we will select this face, then we will draw circle. This is the first circle and we will draw another circle. Now this circle will give the dimension. So here the diameter of the small circle is nothing but 38.1 multiplied by 2. And now we will draw horizontal line. For that we will draw like this, and now we will trim the unwanted portion. Now after doing this we will go out from the sketch, and now we will go to the features and then extrude boss. Now here we have to extrude on this side, and here the depth of extrusion is 6.35 and then we will click on OK. After making this, now we will draw another sketch on this surface and we will give extrude. So here first select the surface, then here we will go to the sketch. Now we have to draw a rectangle. Before that we will insert a center line about which the section will be mirrored. So we will go to the lines, then center line, and here we will draw horizontal center line. Now we will draw rectangle. For that we will go to the rectangle, and here we will draw rectangle. Now after drawing rectangle we will give the dimensions. So here we will give the dimension. So here the distance of this extreme edge from the center line, so we will give it, and it is 190.52. so here 190.52. Now after giving this we have to insert holes and we will give pattern. Before that we will give the distance in between these two lines, so it is 0 mm. Now we will draw the circles. For that we will give to the circles and then draw circle. Now here we will give the dimensioning. So here the diameter of the circle is 10 mm. Now the distance of the center of the circle from this edge is 19.05. so here it is 19.05, and the distance of center of the circle from this vertical edge is, so here this distance is 25.4. Now after drawing this we will give the pattern to this circle. For that we will select this circle, then here we will go to the linear sketch pattern. Now here we have to give the distance in between the similar circles. So this distance is 50.8, and here we have to draw 4 such holes. So we will enter here 4, and here we will flip the direction and then we will click on OK. Now our sketch is completed, for which we will use the extrude. Now we have to mirror it, so we will copy this sketch, then here we will go to the mirror entities, then we will select this blank box and then select this horizontal center line. Now we will click on OK. and we'll go out from the sketch. Now we'll use the extrude boss. For that we'll go to the features, then extrude boss. Now here we have to extrude on the below side, and the depth of extrusion is 10.41, so it is 10.41. Then we'll click on OK. Now our second part, which is lower housing, is completed, so we'll close it and we'll save it to the file save as. Here we'll go to the desktop, then motor blower, and here we'll save it as a lower housing. Then click on save. Now we'll close it and we'll move to the third part. So the third part is blower. Now for that, first we'll start from the sketching. For that we'll go to the sketch, and now we'll draw on the top plane. First, before drawing the sketch, we have to put a center line about which the section will be revolved. Now for that, here we'll go to the center line and we'll enter the center line. Now we'll first draw an arbitrary section and then we'll give the exact dimension. So that we'll go to the line, and here we'll draw a section like this. After drawing the section, we'll give the dimensions, and for giving the dimensions we'll go to the smart dimension. Now here this now for dimensioning, this horizontal line has a length of 12.7. Now this line is having the dimension, and for that we have to close bracket 76.2 minus 38.1 and divide by 2. After that we have to give the distance of this extreme edge from the center line, and for that here we will select this and this, and here we have to give the distance, and for that it is nothing but the radius, and it is 139.7. and now the remaining is we have to give the distance of this horizontal line from the center line, and it is 19.05. Now after giving all these dimensions, we will go out from the sketch, and now we will revolve this section. For that we will go to the features, then revolve boss, and here revolve will take place. After revolving, we have to make a plane. So here we will go to the sketch, go to the features, then reference geometry, and select the plane. After that select this face. Now here we have to give the distance, and the distance is nothing but 184.15 minus 12.7 minus 6.35, and then we'll click on OK. Now after making the plane, we have to sketch on it, so we'll go to the sketch, and now we'll draw the section. For drawing the section, we'll draw two circles. So we'll draw two circles. This is the first and this is the second circle. Now we have to give the dia of the second second circle, and the dia of the second circle is nothing but 101.6 multiplied by 2. Now we have drawn our section, and then we'll go out from the sketch. Now we have to use the extrude feature, and here the depth of extrusion is 6.35, and then we'll click on OK. Now after making this, we have to draw a sketch, and then we will extrude it in between these two, and we will pattern it. For that, we'll go to the sketch, and then we will sketch on this plane. Now first we will convert it into entity. After converting it, we will draw a center line. Now we will draw section. For that, first we will draw a vertical line. Now we will give the length to this vertical line, and the length of this vertical line is 3.81, so it is 3.81. And after that, we will draw another circle. So we will go to the circle, and here we will draw another circle, and which is passing through this end point. After drawing this circle, we have to draw a line, so a radial line. So for that, here we will go to the line, and then we will draw a radial line. Now after drawing this, we have to give the distance, and for that, here we will go to the smart dimension, and we will select this endpoint and this endpoint, and the distance is 60.96. Now after giving the distance, we have to trim unwanted segment. For that, we will go to the trim entities, and then we will trim out the unwanted segment. So here we have trim out. Now we have to draw a vertical line from this endpoint. For that, we will go to the lines, and here we will draw vertical line and the horizontal line, and after that a vertical line. Now we will give the dimensions. For that, we will go to the smart dimensions, and now for giving the dimension, this horizontal line has the length of 6.35, so it is 6.35, and the distance from this point to this lower side is 62.99. so we will select this endpoint, then this horizontal line, so we will select this point, then we will select this, sorry, smart dimension, we will select this point, then this, and here this distance is nothing but it is 62.99, so it is 62.99, and then we will close it. Now we will also trim some entities, and for trimming the entity, we will go to the trim entities, and here we will trim this entity. So now our sketch has been completed, and now we are going to make extrude. So here we will click on OK. Now we will go out from the sketch. After that, we will go to the features, and then we will click on extrude boss. Now we have to extrude it up to this plane. So here we will click on up to the next, so it has automatically extruded up to next, and then we will click on OK. Now after making this one, we have to make 6 such entity. For that, we will click on this, then here we will go to the circular pattern. Now here we have to give the axis for the circular pattern, so we will select this inner cylinder, and here we have to give the number of entity. So for that, here we want 6 such entity, so we will enter here 6, and then we will click on OK. So here we have made the third part of the motor blower assembly, which is the blower, and then we will save it. So we'll go to the file, then save as, and here we'll name it as a blower, and then we'll click on OK. Now we'll close this and we'll move to the fourth part, which is the motor. For that, first we'll go to the sketch, and then we'll select here right plane. Now first we will here draw two concentric circles, and then we'll give the dimensions. So here this inner circle is having the diameter of 152.4, so it is 152.4, and this outer circle which is having the diameter of 254, so it is 254, and then we'll click on OK, and now we'll go out from the sketch. After that we will go to the features, and then we'll click on extrude boss, and here we will extrude it for depth of 12.7, and then we'll go out from the sketch. Now after that we have to click on the sketch, and then we'll select this surface, and now we'll draw our sketch. Now for drawing the sketch, first we will draw a circle which is similar to the inner circle, and then we'll draw another circle. Now we will give the dimension to this bigger circle, and for that here the bigger circle is having the diameter of 117.8. Now for that here we'll go to the smart dimensions, and here it is 117, it is 177.8, and then we'll click on OK, and then we'll go out from the sketch. Now after that we have to give the extrusion, so here we'll go to the features, then extrude boss. Now here we have to give the depth of extrusion, and for that the depth of extrusion is here it is 228.6 minus 12.7, and then we will click on OK. After giving the depth of extrusion, first we will draw a plane, and for that here we will go to the reference geometry and then plane, then we will select this surface, and here we have to give the distance of offset, and here the distance of offset is 12.7, and then we will click on OK. After making the plane we have to draw the sketch. For that we will go to the sketch and we will draw sketch. Now here first we will draw a circle which is same as this outer circle, and after drawing a circle we have to draw a horizontal line, so we will go to the line, and then here we will draw a horizontal line. After drawing line we will put a vertical center line, so here we will put a vertical center line. Now the horizontal line is having the distance from the origin is, so here we will give the distance of the horizontal line from the origin, and it is 171.45. Now we will give the length of this horizontal line, and it is 340.8, so here 340.8, and then here the distance of this extreme point from this vertical center line is half of that, so here it is 304.8 divided by 2. Now after giving all these values we will draw two lines, so here we will go to the line. Now here we will start from the end point of this horizontal line, and we will draw a line which is like such, and here we'll draw another line same way. After drawing two lines, we'll first click on this line, then press Ctrl and select this circle, and here we will give tangent. Then we'll click on OK, and here we will click on the line, then press Ctrl, then click on the circle, and here select tangent, and then we'll close here. After that, here we have to give the diameter, and the diameter of the circle is 177.8, and then we'll click on OK. Now we'll trim unwanted portion, so here select the trim entities, so we will trim this and this. After trimming, we will go out from the sketch, and now we will use extrude boss. So here we will go to the features and then extrude boss. Now here we have to extrude in this direction, and we will here enter the value of extrusion, and here in our case it is 228.6 minus 12. It is the depth of extrusion in this case is nothing but 228.6 minus 165.1, and then click on OK. Now we will go out from the sketch, or here we can directly give the depth of extrusion is 165.1, and then press OK, and then we'll out from the extrusion. Now after making this, we have to make here one sketch. Now before that, we have to draw a sketch on this surface, and we have to extrude it. For that, we'll go to the sketch, and then we'll select this. Now we'll draw three circles. Before that, we'll draw a circle like here. Now we'll give the dimensions. So here the circle is having the diameter of 90.05, so it is 19.05, and now we will give the distance of the center of the circle from the origin, and it is 203.2 divided by 2, and then we'll click on OK, and now we'll go out from the sketch. After that, we'll go to the features and then click on the extruded cut, and here the value of extrude cut is 12.7, so it is 12.7, and then click on OK. After that, we have to pattern it for 3 such holes. For that, we'll go to the circular patterns. Then here we have to select the axis, for which we will select this inner cylinder. Now here we have to make 3 such holes, and then we will click on OK. Now we have to add the last feature. For that, we will go to the sketch, and then we will select this surface. Now we will draw a sketch. Before that, we will put a vertical center line. So here we will select the center line. Now we will convert this into the entity, so we will convert it into entity. Now we will start to draw our sketch, and for that we will mainly use the lines, and now we will start to draw the sketch. First we will draw a random sketch, and then we will give the dimensions to it. So here we will draw a sketch like this. Now after that, we will give the dimensions to each, and for that we will go to the smart dimension. Now we will select this extreme point and this origin, and here this distance is 152.4, so it is 152.4. Then we will click on OK. After that we will give the length of these vertical lines, and in our case it is 11.43, so here it is 11.43, it is 11.43. It is also 11.43. All the horizontal line in this zigzag is 11.43. Now the horizontal line has a length of 12.7, so it is 12.7. Now we will give it coincident, so here we will make it vertical, so we will click on this, then we'll select this, then this, I'm sorry, then we will select this point, and here we will give it vertical, and also we will give it vertical, then we will close it. Now we have to give the distance of this vertical line from the center line. For that we will click on smart dimensions, and here we will give the distance in between these two, and here it is 152.4 divided by 2. Then we will click on OK. Now we will click on OK. Now we have to put a vertical line like this, and then we will close it. Now we have to trim this. For that we will go to the, before trimming we will mirror it about this vertical center line, so we will select this, then we will go to the mirror entities, then here we will select this blank box, then select this vertical center line, and then we will click on OK. After that we have to close the sketch. For that we will go to the line, and then we will close the sketch. Then click on OK. Now here we have to trim this portion. For that we will click on the trim entities. Now we will trim some portion. Now here our section is completed, so here we will go out from the sketch, and now here we will go to the features, and then extrude boss. Now in this case the depth of extrusion is 209.55, and then we will click on OK. After that, here we have to make one hole, so we'll go to the sketch and then we'll select this surface. Now we will draw a circle, so here we will draw a circle, and this circle is having the radius of 38.1 divided by 2, and then we'll go to OK and we'll go out from the sketch. And now we will use the extrude cut, so we'll go to the features, then extruded cut, and here in the drop down box we will select the through all and then click on OK. So here our fourth part, which is the motor, is completed, and now we will save this. So here we will go to the file and then we will click on the save as, and we will give here name it as a motor, then save it. Now we will close it and we will move to the next part, which is the cover. So we will go to the new part. Now first we will draw a sketch and then we will revolve it about an axis. So here we will go to the sketch and then we will go to the top plane. Now first we will put here a center line, so go to the line and then center line. After putting a center line, first we will draw a section with the random dimensions, and for that we will go to the lines, and here we will draw the profile. For that, first here we will draw a vertical line, then a horizontal line, then again a vertical line, then a horizontal line, and like such a profile we will draw first. Now after drawing the profile, we will give the dimensions, and for giving the dimensions we will go to the smart dimension. Now first we will give the distance in between this vertical line and the center line, and here this distance is 19.05. Now we have to give the distance of this extreme line from the center line, so here we will select this both and we have to give the distance in between them, and it is 177.8 divided by 2. And now here the thickness of this is 6.35, so here this horizontal line is having the dimensions of, in bracket here we will enter 63.5 minus 38.1 and divide by 2. Now after giving it, the distance in between these two lines is 6.35, so here we will enter it 6.35, and here the distance in between these two lines is also 6.35. Now we have to give the fillet in between these two lines and these two lines. Before that we have to give the vertical distance in between them, so here the distance between this line and this line is 76.2, so here it is 76.2, and then the distance of this line from the horizontal line is 69.85, so here it is 69. distance of this horizontal line and this horizontal line is 69.85. And now the third one is the distance of this horizontal line from this horizontal line is 63.5, which is already, so we'll click on OK. Now after giving the dimensions, we have to revolve this sketch about the center line. Now for that we will go out from the sketch and then we will go to the features. Then here we will select the revolve boss, and then revolve has taken place, and then we will click on OK. Now we have to modify the sketch for the revolve, and for that here we will edit the sketch. Here we have to make a fillet radius. For that we will click on the fillet, and then we will select these two lines and these two lines, and here we have to give the radius of the fillet, which is 31.75, and then we will click on OK, and then we will go out from the sketch. After giving the fillet radius, we have to give the fillet radius over here also, which is 5.08. so here we will click on the fillet, then select this upper edge, and here we will select this upper edge, here we will give the radius, which is 5.08, and then we will click on OK, and then we will click on OK. Now after making this, we have to give the fillet. For that we will go to the fillet, and then here we will select this edge, so here we will select this edge, and now here we will enter the fillet radius, which is 5.08, and then we will click on OK. Now after making this, we have to go to the sketch, then we will select this plane. Now we have to draw a section. For that we will first draw circle, so that here we will draw a circle, and then we will draw another concentric circles. After drawing the circles, we will give the dimension, so here we will click on the smart dimensions, and first we will give the distance in between the two circles. So here we will first give the distance, so here this distance is 203.2 divided by 2. Now after giving the distance, we have to give the radius or the diameter of these circles. For that here the inner circle is having the diameter of 19.05, and outer circle having the radius of 19.05, so it is 38.1, then we will click on OK. Now we will convert it into the entity, so here we will give it as a convert entity, and now we will draw projections. So for that here we will go to the line, and then we will draw two horizontal lines. here we will draw a circle, and then we will trim out the entities. So for that we will go to the trim entities, and then we will trim all the entities. And then we will go out from the sketch. Now we have to give the extrude. So for that we will select here features, then extrude boss. Now here the depth of extrusion is 12.7, so here we will enter 12.7, and here we have to alter the direction. So for that we will click on the arrow and we will move it on another side for 12.7, and then we will click on OK. After making this one, we have to give the pattern for 3 such. For that we will first select it, this extrude boss, then we will go to the circular pattern. Then here we have to select the axis of circular pattern. So here we will select this inner cylinder, and here we have to make 3 such entities, and then we will click on OK. Now after making this, the last portion that is remaining, and it is for that we have to first put a plane. So for that here we will go to the geometry and the plane. Now here we will select this surface, and now we will put a reference plane. Now here we have to give the flip offset, and we have to enter the value for which we want to give it an offset. Now here the offset is 73 mm, so here we will enter 73, and then we will click on OK. After that we have to first draw a sketch. For that we will go to the sketch, and now we will draw the sketch. For sketch, first we will put a vertical center line, so that here we will put a vertical center line. Now we will draw a circle. So here we will go to the circle, and now here we will draw one circle. After drawing circle, here we have to give the dimensions to the circle, and for giving the dimensions, first we will go to the smart dimensions, and here we will give it the diameter as a 10 mm. So here enter 10 mm, and then we will close it. Now we have to give the distance, and for that here we will select the center point of the circle and the origin, and this distance is nothing but 101.6 divided by 2. I'm sorry. This distance is 101.6 divided by 2. Now here we will draw a horizontal center line. So here we will draw a horizontal center line. After that we will select this circle, then here we will click on the mirror entities, then we will select this blank box and select this horizontal center line. After mirroring it, we have to draw two vertical line. So here we will go to the lines, and we will draw two vertical lines from the extreme points. So here we will draw two lines. This is the first one, and here we will draw another second vertical line. Now after drawing these two lines, we will trim unwanted entities. So here we will go to the trim entities, and then we will trim these entities. Now our sketch has been completed, so we will click on OK and we will go out from the sketch. Now we have to give the extrude boss. For that we will go to the features, then extrude boss, and here we will click on up to the next, and then we will click on OK. Now we have to give the pattern to this feature, and for that we will first click this feature and we will go to the linear pattern. So here we will go to the linear pattern. Now after clicking the linear pattern we have to give the direction, so that here we will select the top plane, and now here we have to select the right plane. So here we will first select the right plane. Now here we have to give the distance in between the two entities, which is 15.24. Now after giving the distance, here we have to give the number of entities. So here it is 5, so here we will enter 5, and then we will click on OK. After giving this, we have to do the same procedure on the other side, and for that here we will click on this 4 entities. Then here we will go to the mirror, so that we will click on the mirror. Then here we will select the right plane, so here we will select the right plane. Now after making this, we have to do the same procedure on the other side. For that here we will first select this extrude boss, then here we will select the linear pattern. Now here we have to select the right plane. After selecting the right plane, here we have to flip the direction, so we will click on this, and here also the number of entities is 5 and the distance in between the two entities is 15.25, and then we will click on OK. So here our fifth part, which is the cover, is completed, and our next and last part is the shaft. Now we will save this. So here we will go to the save as, and then we will name it as a cover, and then we will save it. Now we will close it, and we will make the last part, which is the shaft. So here we will go to the file and we will create a part, which is shaft. For that we will first go to the sketch, and here we will select the top plane. Now we will insert a center line, so here we will insert a vertical center line, and after that we will draw the sketch. So here we will go to the line and we will draw a sketch, and after drawing the sketch we will give it exact dimensions. Now we will give the dimensions. So here go to the smart dimensions. Now here this horizontal line is having the length of 36.83 divided by 2. After that this vertical length, it is 12.7. Then the distance of this horizontal line and this horizontal line is 17.27. Now we have to give this external distance, so this length is 431.08. Now here we will go out from the sketch and then we will go to the features, then revolve boss, and then we click on OK. So it is our last part of the motor blower assembly, which is the shaft, and now we will create an assembly using all these 6 parts, and here we will save it as a shaft. Up to now we have created all the parts that are necessary to make the motor blower assembly. So now we will create an assembly. For that, go to the file, and here we will select assembly and then OK. Now in assembly we will import all the components one by one and we will assemble to make assembly. For that, here we will first import a component which is motor. So here we will import the motor first. After importing motor, we will import the shaft. For that, we will go to the insert import components, then here click on the browse and then select the shaft. Now we will click on the mat, then select the cylindrical surface of the shaft and then select this inner cylindrical portion, and here click on the flip mat and then here click on OK. After that, select this end portion of the shaft and select this surface of the motor and then click on OK. So here we have made the shaft on its place, then click on OK. Now we'll insert cover. For that, we'll go to the insert components, then click on the browse and here select the cover, then click on open. Now we have to click on the mat, so here click on the mat. After that, select this hole of the cover and then select this hole of the motor, then here click on OK. After that, select this hole and then this hole and then click on OK. And finally we have to select this surface of the motor and then this surface of the cover and then click on OK. Now we have also assembled the cover. Now we have to import the blower. For that, we will click on OK and here insert components, then browse and then we will select the blower, then open. Now we have to mat, then click on this inner cylindrical surface and then select the cylindrical surface of the shaft and here click on the flip and then click on OK. After that, we have to select this surface of the shaft and select this surface of the blower and then here we'll click on OK. Now After making the blower on its place, we will import the lower housing. For that, we will go to the insert components, then click on the browse, and then here we will select the lower housing and then open. Now we will click on the mat, then we have to select this cylindrical portion of the lower housing and the cylindrical portion of this blower, and then click on OK. After that, we have to place the lower housing to its place, so we will drag it on its place. After that, we have to click on this surface and then select this surface of the motor and then click on OK, and now finally OK. Now we will insert the last component, which is the upper housing. For that, we will go to the insert components, then click on the browse and then select the upper housing and then click on open. Now after that, we have to click on the mat, so we will click on the mat, then we will select this hole of the lower housing and this hole of the upper housing, and then click on OK. After that, we have to select this hole of the upper housing and then this hole of the lower housing, so it is this hole of the lower housing, and then we'll click on OK. Now we have to click on this lower surface of this upper housing and then this surface of the lower housing, and then we'll click on OK, and then we'll close the mat. Now you can see that we have made the complete assembly of motor blower. Thanks for watching my video. If you like my video, then please hit on the like button and subscribe my channel for more videos and updates. Thank you.